We spent 1 year traveling to 20 different European countries for less than $1,000 a month.
Without hitchhiking, staying in hostels, or spending our entire time in super cheap countries. Here's how we did it, and you can too.
Hey, we're Jana and Brett, Applins in the Alps, and we used to think that full-time travel was impossible. But in 2016, we took the leap, and since then, we've been to more than 30 European countries.
Traveling Europe can be expensive, but we had fallen in love with Europe on our honeymoon and just wanted to spend more time there.
But at the time, I worked as a nanny.
And I was a gymnastics coach. A gymnastics coach, y'all.
So we didn't have this pile of savings to travel off of, and we had literally just started working online.
Despite all of that, we found out how to spend a full year traveling Europe in 2016 for less than $1,000 a month. We know that was a few years ago, but we were right where you are not too long ago, full of dreams that seemed downright impossible.
So we're going to share exactly what we spent, plus 5 tips that helped us save nearly $30,000 along the way. First up is lodging. We didn't stay in hostel dorm rooms, we didn't couch surf, and we didn't sleep in airports. We stayed in our own bed in our own private room every single night of the year. Our biggest tip to save money on lodging is house and pet sitting. We used the Trusted House Sitters platform, which connected us with families who needed people to care for their home and pets while they were away on vacation. We completed 9 house sits for a total of 8 months of free lodging. We estimate that we saved well over $12,000 by house and pet sitting, which brought our grand total cost for lodging for the year to just over $1,500. By the way, if you're interested in house and pet sitting, check out our referral link in the description below.
When it comes to transportation, most people suggest you hitchhike or stay in the same country the whole time to save money, but we didn't do either of those things. We took 11 flights, countless trains, buses, Ubers, and metro rides, and rented 3 cars while visiting 20 different countries. Our biggest tip for saving money on transportation is to take advantage of credit card points and miles. Seriously, we built up hundreds of thousands of points that we used for free flights, rental cars, train rides, you name it. And along the way, we estimate that we saved way more than $7,000 just on transportation alone. In total, our cost of transportation for the entire year was barely over $2,500. If you want to see what's possible with points, check out this video where we enjoyed the Turkish Airlines business class experience for less than the cost of a flight in the US.
Most people suggest traveling on a budget by living off of ramen or eating McDonald's all the time, which is not what we did. We saved money on food by buying groceries and visiting cafes instead of restaurants. Not all grocery stores are created equal. There are the luxury ones and the budget ones, and we tend to go for the budget-friendly option. Hint, hint, my favorite place is Aldi. We also quickly discovered that lunch menus are cheaper than dinner menus, but more times than not, we were just as happy to eat snacks and a drink in a cafe than even go out to a restaurant. However, we did of course splurge on restaurants for like our birthdays and anniversary and fun experiences like that, but usually you'll find us in a cafe. Now, obviously, there are more ways that you can save money, and I'm not going to explain all of them here, but they are included in one of our articles, 70 ways that you can save money while traveling Europe, so we'll link that in the description below. By grocery shopping and choosing cafes, we spent just over $5,000 on food and drinks.
When it comes to sightseeing and entertainment, we didn't spend all of our time in cheap countries or avoid the tourist hotspots like most people suggest. But we also didn't pay money to see things just because other people thought we should. Often it was more than enough for us to enjoy amazing places from the outside. And there are lots of affordable ways to enjoy the highlights. You could picnic by the Eiffel Tower, eat gelato by the Colosseum, visit a handful of Christmas markets, or watch the sunset in Dubrovnik. But we always choose to splurge for specific experiences we know that we will love, like taking a private historical tour in Bosnia and visiting World War II museums throughout Normandy and Germany. The tip here: find free and local experiences you know you're gonna like and skip the rest without guilt. In total, during 2016, our sightseeing and entertainment spending was just over $600. Most high-level travel budgets only include the previous 4 categories we've covered because, frankly, that's where most of the spending comes from. But for the sake of transparency, we wanted to be able to show you exactly what we spent for an entire year traveling Europe. So we've included this final category, creatively titled Everything Else. And for us, that included toiletries and personal care items, such as shampoo, deodorant, and sunscreen because I'm a pale redhead. But over 50% of our spending in this category was for travel insurance, and that's because we didn't have any other health insurance at the time. Now, there's really no great tip for this category unless you just want to avoid taking showers, which we don't recommend. So the best we could tell you is keep in mind that you're already going to be spending money on this every day back home, and you might look into travel insurance and find out whether or not you actually need it. Altogether, our total spending for 2016 in this category was just under $2,200. Spending as little money as possible isn't necessarily a good travel goal. You could spend nothing and see nothing, but that's not why you travel, right? So before we share our grand total for the year, remember, this is not to say, hey, travel like Jana and Brett, but to show you what's possible.
We conservatively saved at least $30,000, which is cheaper than our middle-class life here in Tennessee. So the grand total for traveling Europe for 1 year is $32.57 a day, $990.64 a month, and for the entire year, a grand total of $11,887.64.
If you found this helpful, be sure to check out this video where we explain the cost of 1 month traveling Switzerland in 2021.
And don't forget to check out the links in the description below.